back to this heated show. So, of course, it's time for us to get all up in Leon's personal business. But before we do that, so far. As Catalina said earlier, I have a confession. I'm hands down one of your biggest fans. Been following you for years through your career, and I'm excited that you're actually sitting right next to me.
Thank you, love.
So jumping in, you started this thing when you were 15, 16. You picked up the guitar when you was a little bit older.
Yeah.
Do you think that you started your career a little later than what you would have wanted to?
No. Because I was a poet first, and so I was able to understand the language and understand what I wanted to say. I was that
but
chubby.
You started at 15.
No. Prior to singing, I didn't start at 15. I started trying at 15.
Okay, but
so
that's early.
I prayed and said, Lord, I need to sound like Luther and Marvin Gaye and Marvin Winans.
Big shoes to fill.
He's God. So so I did that, and so I didn't start singing professionally until my early 20s, and so still super late. I came out of church, so you got kids that were singing in their teens and their early, you know, Sunshine Band, children.
Oh, I was in the Sunshine
all of that.
Band.
So it was pretty late in terms of. You know,
well,
then
God's timing is perfect.
Amen. You got that right.
Amen. So you, as you just mentioned, you were a preacher's kid.
Yes.
So PK, as they call you guys.
Absolutely.
Is it true what they say? But anyway.
It is.
Oh, hey.
He just told us about his sperm count. I think it's true.
So that was off camera, Catalina.
I'm kidding.
So what kind of music were you able to listen to under your father's roof?
Oh, only gospel for the most part. But I understood what that meant and the heart behind that. So when I started to listen to things like James Taylor and Bill Withers and the Carpenters, and when I started to listen, I started to understand. That's why I picked up the guitar. There wasn't many playing it when I was wanting to pick it up, but I just felt like that was my expression.
Wow.
So was that something that, because it sounds like you have a very eclectic taste in music, does that constantly influence you? Are you pulling from genres other than yours on a regular basis?
I think you have to. As a creator, you have to really understand, respect, and honor the past, but you always have to keep your ear to the ground because creativity spawns from any moment, anywhere, and you got to respect that. You got to be ready for that.
So what does your family think that now you're doing music and this type of music? Are they okay with this?
Absolutely. They're okay with love music. They're okay with life music, political music, because it's still an expression of my relationship with God, number one, and number two, I don't think you can talk about God without talking about love.
That's true.
I think the ultimate sense of pure romance happens when you understand love from an unmovable perspective.
Yeah.
Without that, I can't love you if I don't understand what unconditional is.
So then you're okay with someone calling you a gospel artist? Because some like to say that, you know, I'm more than that, but you're okay with being called a gospel artist?
I'm okay with being called a gospel artist just as much as I'm okay with saying Lil Duval didn't know what he was saying when he said it. I think people have a perspective. It's not my job or responsibility to say you're saying it wrong, you're saying it wrong. It's just my responsibility to get to their hearts. So call me anything you want to call me.
Because you are really, what you do kind of defies the category, correct?
It does. And I find in my career, I'll be one place, you know, with people with candidates, and then I'll be another place with people with parishioners. You know what I mean? And so I find myself just having to be what I am where I am.
Yeah, I understand.
That's awesome.
So of course, you have your gospel music that you write, that you sing, and then of course you have your R&B.
And it's good and sexy,
Yes, it is.
Good and sexy.
Yes, it is. Amen, amen. So for those people who may say, wait a minute now, what is it going to be? Either you're singing for Jesus or you're singing for the Bound Chicka Wow Wow.
Well, Thomas Dorsey, the creator of Bound Chicka Wow Wow. Thomas Dorsey, who created gospel music in the 1920s, came from a jazz background. My question to them is, how did we sing gospel music before gospel music was gospel music? That's number one. Number two is, if anybody wants to define my music, it's somewhere between the Proverbs, the Psalms, and the Song of Solomon. I think that expression is all scriptural, and I have the ability to articulate it in our time.
It's awesome.
I love that.
So you're from Jacksonville, obviously.
Yep,
so
Duval.
how often do you get to come home?
I only get to come home maybe twice or 3 times a year.
Really?
Yeah, not nearly as much as I want
So
to.
where do you call home?
Where do I call home?
Where do you lay your head at night, bro?
Oh,
Where's your mail sent?
She needs an address. Where's your mail? Most importantly.
So this is
In your business.
Atlanta is home.
Yes, very nice.
Absolutely.
So coming back to Jacksonville, what was the first thing you would eat?
Oh my God, Jenkins.
Really?
Jenkins and Jerome Brown's.
Really? So you're a barbecue man?
No, I'm a Duval man. It's just, that's the first thing that I remember coming back home.
Yeah.
That's home for me. Ribault, Raines, Jenkins.
Yeah. Oh, wow. Ribault Raines. You know, that's serious.
So, yeah.
Now tell me,
serious.
I want to know about your nonprofit, Unify.
Yes, Unify is a nonprofit that we organized, and what we do, we go in cities where there's amazing nonprofit activity, right? And so, for instance, in Memphis, we got a nonprofit that did expungements, and so we used them as one of our targets, and we got the creatives around that area, the artists that are well known, and we brought in some national artists, and we did a concert and exposed the fan base of the creatives to the nonprofit. So they gave money, they gave time, and then they were exposed to volunteerism and all of that space.
Awesome.
So Unify is more of a bridge, and we get to do it in different cities across the U.S.
That's huge. When you can connect artists to other people, I mean, that's massive.
It takes their fan base
That's great.
to something that's deeper than them.
That's so cool.
So let's talk about why you're in Jacksonville. Other than being on the chat, what else you
For
here
Henny's
for?
birthday.
For my birthday.
For
What else you
Eddie's
here
birthday, I'm here for my dad. I'm here for
Aw,
and
that's so
what I did
sweet.
was early on. About 15 years ago, me and a group of individuals we call Firestorm had at midnight had a concert. It was like a prayer slash, just what does amazing music sound like when you don't have to entertain people, right?
Wow.
And so we got together and we just created music and just kind of let it go. And my sound,
Like freestyle?
Freestyle,
Oh,
absolutely.
cool.
And then so my career has been defined by that moment. And so I'm coming back to my father's church, the same place
this is
we
your
started.
father's
This is my
church.
father's church.
Wow.
And we're coming back and we're setting it up, bringing lights and all of that stuff. And so we're going to sit there. It's free to the public. And if you want a special seat, it's $20. We give you some free items or whatever. But it's all to give back to the space that defined me. And so that's what we'll be doing tomorrow night at 7.
That is
Such a
awesome.
sweet homecoming show.
I
Yeah, absolutely.
know.
Absolutely.
That is so awesome. And then my birthday, of course. Okay, so don't forget, people, you can see this man right here, Mr. Leon, live tomorrow night. He'll be performing at 7 p.m. at Firestorm, the reunion. For ticket information and directions, you can visit the website, leontimbolive.com. And coming up a little later, we have a surprise for you because he is performing for us. Yay! But first, we're getting to know Mrs. South Asia International 2017. Stick around, folks. We'll be right back.